Thank you for joining me today. Our topic for this month's wellness webinar is sleep and shift work. So we'll be understanding why sleep is so important and the impact poor sleep can have on your lifestyle and work, as well as your mental and physical health. So here is just a bit about what we'll be running through today. So what is shift work, understanding sleep, the benefits and impacts of sleep. So this could be common issues linked to poor health, poor sleep, and also mental and physical health impacts. We've then got how nutrition impacts sleep, some specific advice for shift workers, and also some tips on sleeping better. So just a bit about shift work. So shift work comprises of recurring periods in which different groups of workers do the same jobs in relay. And currently around 18% of UK employees have some form of shift work inherent in their role. And there are over 3 million UK employees who work permanent or rotating night shifts. So understanding a bit about sleep. So as we all know, sleep is a very important part of our day, and we spend about a third of our time asleep. Whilst we sleep, it allows our bodies to replenish energy stores and make repairs, whilst our minds can organise and store memories from the day before. The amount of sleep you need varies from person to person, but it is recommended you get between 7 and 9 hours, although between 6 and 10 hours is normal. Those who get less than 6 hours a night are at a significantly increased risk of stroke or heart disease, and around 40% of us suffer with sleep issues. Did you know that it has been said that you could survive for 3 times as long without food as you could without sleep? Just reiterating how important it really is. So now on to a bit about sleep cycles. Your body runs on an approximate 24-hour cycle that's regulated by your body clock, and this is known as circadian rhythm. There are lots of cycles in your body, and they regulate everything from when we feel hungry to how our body temperature fluctuates during the day. These cycles are kept on track by the master clock in the brain, which is set by daylight. When you're working shifts, you might be going to sleep when it's still light and waking up in darkness, meaning your waking hours are out of sync with your natural circadian rhythm. Melatonin is the hormone which your body produces at nighttime when the light levels drop, indicating that it is time to get sleepy and prepare for bed. So if you're going to sleep when it's still light, this can be difficult to adjust to. So then what happens when we sleep? Sleep plays a huge part in regulating our mood, helping to improve our memory, and also helping us to maintain our health, our weight, and also our energy levels. So there are 4 sleep stages. You have N1, which is light sleep, and you can easily be woken. N2 is slightly deeper, and if you're left undisturbed, you'll then continue into N3, which is the deep sleep, so you're less responsive to noise. REM, or rapid eye movement, is where the body switches off and the brain receives extra blood to process the day's events. Each cycle lasts around 90 minutes, and a good night's sleep usually consists of around 5 cycles. REM sleep increases with each cycle, and N3 decreases. Non-REM sleep helps to lower muscle tone, body temperature, heart rate, and blood pressure. And whilst the biological role of sleep still isn't fully understood, research demonstrates that it reinforces the cardiovascular and immune systems and helps to regulate metabolism. So here are just some benefits of what can happen with a good night's sleep. So you can feel less stressed, more positive, more alert. You can also be more motivated and have more energy. You also might look better, and you can also be more focused. So lots of good benefits there. Next, we have common issues. So these are issues that you might find if you're struggling to get to sleep. So stress and worry can play a huge part in struggling to get to sleep, as well as your mental health. If you have a partner sharing a bed with you and they snore or move around a lot, this can also affect your sleep. Your bedroom environment plays a huge role in being able to get a good night's sleep as well, and we'll go into that in a bit more detail later on in the presentation. We also have lifestyle, also alcohol and smoking. So don't reach for alcohol as a way to help you sleep. It will affect your sleep quality, even if it does make you feel drowsy. Being a parent or carer can also affect your sleep, as can work, menopause, and also aging. So now a little bit about shift work sleep disorder. So this is a sleep disorder which affects those who work non-traditional hours, so outside your typical 9 to 5 working day. It can cause difficulty falling asleep, you can also struggle to stay asleep, and also sleeping when you need to. So this is due to your work schedule going against that internal body clock or your circadian rhythm. Symptoms may include having difficulty sleeping or being extremely tired, struggling to concentrate, so this can affect your work as well as your home life. You might suffer from headaches, and also if you're struggling to sleep and not getting enough hours, you can also have a lack of energy. It's estimated that between 10 and 40% of shift workers have shift work sleep disorder. So the consequences can include an increased likelihood of accidents and work-related errors, maybe irritability or mood problems, poor coping skills and impaired social functioning. You can also have health-related complaints, so things like gastrointestinal problems. So if you're working irregular hours, this can possibly lead to irregular meal times, which may disrupt your body's natural digestive process due to the disruption in the body's internal clock. So this can result in symptoms such as bloating, gas, discomfort, all of which can affect bowel movements, leading to constipation or diarrhea. Some studies have also linked irregular work hours and disrupted sleep patterns to an increase in cardiovascular problems. So this can be due to your disruptive sleep patterns, chronic stress, and also an unhealthy lifestyle behaviour, which is common in shift workers. So this could lead to an increased risk of coronary artery disease, heart attack, and other forms of heart disease as well. As we have discussed, irregular working hours and inadequate sleep can disrupt the body's circadian rhythm, leading to those disturbances and also an increase in blood pressure regulation. So shift workers may experience higher blood pressure levels and also an increased risk of developing hypertension compared to those with regular daytime shifts. This can also then lead to drug or alcohol dependency. So, what are the mental health impacts of poor sleep? A lack of sleep can mean you end up in this negative cycle. Living with a mental health problem can affect how well you sleep, or poor sleep can have a negative impact on your mental health. So you almost get trapped in this cyclical cycle, and it can seem really difficult to get out at points. As I've touched on, sleep deprivation can increase your stress and anxiety, making it more difficult to nod off at nighttime. The more you force sleep, the more anxious and stressed you'll feel. As I've mentioned, sleep has an important restorative function in recharging your brain at the end of each day, but also in giving you the ability to manage and cope. Getting a good night's sleep and having a consistent routine can help you cope better with the stress of life, such as family issues, financial worries, and work. If you are finding that you're getting trapped in this cycle, why don't you try some easy tips such as using breathing techniques to help calm you down, maybe taking some time out. Perhaps you might want to talk to someone about how your mental health or your sleep is affecting you, and also eating a balanced diet, which again we'll go into in more detail. So, without sleep, you can't form or maintain the pathways in your brain that let you learn and create new memories, meaning it's also harder to concentrate and respond quickly. Poor sleep impairs brain performance, including memory and decision-making tasks, which can result in poor concentration, increasing your risk of injury and accidents. Being tired regularly can leave us feeling impatient and snappy, which in turn could negatively impact our relationships, either at home or at work. Ongoing poor sleep can also be a huge risk factor for the development of major depressive disorders. So now a bit about physical health. Sometimes insomnia can be related to physical health problems. Most of us will have experienced an illness which has made it harder for us to sleep due to a physical disruption or irritation, such as maybe a blocked nose or a sore throat. Some chronic conditions, such as osteoporosis or diabetes, can also drastically affect your sleep in the long term. Addressing physical health issues could improve your sleep quality, and it might also be possible to address the sleep problem alongside the health problem, rather than just treating it as a symptom. So as I've mentioned, this cumulative effect of sleep loss and sleep disorders have been associated with a wide variety of health issues, including increased risk of hypertension, so that's linked to your blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, depression, heart attack, and stroke. Sleep is really important as it affects almost every type of tissue and system in the body. And like I've mentioned, it really gives our bodies that time to rest and repair. Lack of sleep has also been connected to larger waist circumference. The normal production of leptin and ghrelin, which are the hormones that help control your appetite and hunger, can be thrown off even after just short periods of inadequate sleep. This can lead to an increase in chance of cravings for maybe more energy-dense foods and convenience foods. With less than 7 hours sleep a night, there is a relationship with obesity. With the shorter the sleep, the greater the chance of obesity. A study found that by age 27, individuals with a short sleep duration, so that of less than 6 hours, were 7.5 times more likely to have a higher body mass index. So now how nutrition can impact your sleep. So eating a balanced diet, including a variety of fruit and vegetables and a range of vitamins and minerals, can help support your bodily processes, including sleep. And some research has found that a lack of key nutrients can be associated with sleep problems. And like I mentioned, if your hormone levels are a bit out, then people can be more drawn towards those higher calorie foods. So it can be quite difficult to pick those healthier options, and maybe you're drawn to those with less nutritional benefit. So on the slide, you can see the Eat Well guide. So this is what you should sort of be aiming to have your plate made up of. It doesn't matter if it doesn't look like this at each meal, but just across the day. So that's having a third of your diet made up of fruit and vegetables. So you want to be having your 5 a day. You've then got a third made up of carbohydrates. So you can maybe choose whole grain options or higher fiber options, and those lower in salt and sugar. You've then got a smaller portion for your protein. So this helps your body with muscle repair and growth. And then you also have a smaller section for your dairy and alternatives, and then a smaller section for your oils and spreads. So this is when you should be opting for those unsaturated fats and in small amounts. So you want to be trying to avoid foods like caffeinated beverages or spicy foods, which can make it harder to get to sleep. Ideally, you want to avoid caffeinated drinks at least 5 hours before your intended bedtime. Eating too late can can affect and throw off your sleep, and it's been found to be worse for people trying to lose weight. So people that don't get enough sleep are more likely to have bigger appetites due to the fact that their leptin levels fall, which can promote an appetite increase. Carbohydrates help with the production of tryptophan, which is converted into niacin, which helps with the production of serotonin, which is the precursor for melatonin. Protein foods also contain tryptophan, and we can't make this ourselves. So sources of that include things like chicken, eggs, peanuts, soybeans, milk, yogurt, and also seeds like pumpkin and sunflower seeds. We also need carbohydrates to help with the transport and delivery to the brain. So just a bit on exercise. So exercise can make you feel more alert. However, regular exercise, particularly in the morning or afternoon, can impact your sleep quality by raising your body temperature a few degrees. So then later in the day, your internal thermostat drops back to its normal range, which triggers the feelings of drowsiness. Most of us exercise in the evening, which could then affect your temperature increase. So that's why you might struggle to get to sleep if you've just done a workout, and also that kind of adrenaline rushing around your body can make it harder for you to wind down as well. So exercising regularly can make it easier to fall asleep and contributes to sounder sleep. However, exercising sporadically or right before going to bed will make falling asleep a little bit more difficult. So the sleep benefits from exercise may be greater for some people compared to others, but even if it isn't the cure-all you've been hoping for, you can feel good knowing that you've incorporated regular workouts into your week and are moving your health in the right direction. You could also partake in things like yoga or Pilates, which might be a little bit more relaxing than going out for a run or doing a HIIT workout. Then just some advice for shift workers. So as we're aware, shift workers are at an increased risk of not getting enough sleep. During your shift, you want to eat smaller portions throughout and try and avoid those fried, spicy, and processed foods, which can be harder for your body to digest and therefore leave you feeling a bit more lethargic. You want to have things like slow release carbs, so that's your whole grains, and also fruit and vegetables. During your shift, you should try and limit your caffeine intake, as it can make it harder for you to fall asleep once you've got home. You want to stay hydrated, which can help you remain alert and energized. So if possible, try and carry a water bottle around with you and take sips from this as often as you can. You also want to keep busy, which can help keeping your body moving, which will help the blood flow around your body and help your mind stay awake as well. Also talk to your co-workers, share knowledge and tips, and see what works for them and what you could maybe implement. So now just some overall tips. So you want to use the light to your advantage. Getting light, possibly natural if possible, during the day, and avoid bright lights at night. Many of us naturally start to put on dimmer lights in the evening, and this helps to gradually prepare our mind and body for sleep. Just as in nature, the sun would largely dictate our sleeping pattern. You then also don't want to go to bed too hungry or too full. Often you might hear people warning you not to eat after a certain time. There is some truth that if you do eat a larger meal just before bed, your digestion might interfere with your sleep. However, on the flip side, if you're too hungry, you'll also struggle and find it harder to fall asleep, and you'll just end up eating a snack. So try and avoid those large meals 3 to 4 hours before bed. Where possible, try and keep a regular schedule. So whether this is going to bed and waking up at the same time, it's been shown that people who go to bed at the same time in the week and also at weekends is beneficial and can lead to deeper, better quality sleep. You could also have a nighttime routine. So this might be something as simple as brushing your teeth and then reading for 10 minutes, but it's just giving your body a pattern of behavior that your brain will realize that it's time for sleep, and your mind and body will begin to wind down. You also want to try and switch off your screens before going to sleep. So also, if you can't fall asleep, you want to get up and do something else, rather than if you sit in bed scrolling on your phone for hours or opening up your laptop, your mind can lose the association of bed as being a place for sleep. So often when people suffer with insomnia, bedtime and bedrooms can become associated with stress, and the worry about being awake all night can make it even harder to get to sleep. So trying to avoid using those screens is really important. So I mentioned having a perfect bedroom environment earlier. So what does this look like? If possible, try avoid having a TV or computer in your room, and where possible, keep your bedroom for sleeping only. You want your brain to associate your bedroom with just sleeping and nothing else really, so that it knows when you go to bed, that's the time to wind down and get sleepy. If possible, try to avoid bright colours and opt for muted tones and pastels. Smells can also help affect your mood, so they can make you more relaxed and calm. So you could use a reed diffuser with some essential oils or lavender or candles, and if possible, invest in a good mattress as well. Like I said, we spend a third of our lives asleep, so having a good mattress really is important if you can. Moving your body, so exercise, especially at a time if you do work from home, it can be hard to sleep when you've just been sat at a desk all day. So go for a workout or just a quick walk around the block. These small changes can do wonders for your sleep. Next, you want to try and keep your bedroom cool. So our body's core temperature slightly lowers when it's time for sleep. And the ideal sleeping temperature of your bedroom is around 16 to 17 degrees. Then you also want to try and avoid alcohol and smoking. Lots of people think that they sleep better after drinking alcohol, but actually it can really affect your body's ability to get into a deep sleep. So you want to not, if you're struggling to sleep, don't just become dependent on alcohol to help you. And with caffeine, I mentioned that you want to be avoiding that about 5 hours before you go to sleep, because even after 6 hours, once you've consumed caffeine, half of it is still in your body. So even if you do fall asleep after you've had a coffee, research has shown that your chances of having a well-rested night's sleep aren't as high. You also want to avoid becoming dependent on caffeine, because otherwise you get into a vicious cycle of always needing a coffee, then struggling to get to sleep. So yeah, those are some tips. There are also some apps that can help you with your sleep. So there is a bit of a lack of research surrounding the validity of sleep apps, but a lot of people find that the act of tracking their own activity data is a powerful motivational tool. However, depending on your personality, be careful, as some people might become overly stressed about their tracking, which can then obviously contribute to worse sleep. So you've got Headspace, which can guide users through daily meditation and mindfulness. And then you have Sleep Cycle, which is a popular app that you can track and interpret your sleep data every night, as well as wake you up during your lightest sleep phase in the morning. Then Calm is another popular sleep app, and this allows you to pick different sleep stories. So there are some famous voices on there. You might recognize Stephen Fry or Matthew McConaughey. Calm also isn't just for sleep, so they have things like meditation, mindfulness, stretching routines, music, soundscapes, and also breathing exercises. So all of those have a free version, and then you can pay for a subscription as well. So you might find that beneficial. They're also quite good if you wake up in the middle of the night to just have that almost preloaded on your phone to turn on. And sometimes a sleep story can help you get back to sleep. So then, in summary, poor sleep can have a negative impact on all aspects of life, and sleep is really essential for our mental and physical health. What we eat and drink can have a big impact on our sleep, and vice versa. So again, it's having that healthy, balanced diet and not eating too closely before trying to get to sleep. You want to ensure that your sleep environment is cool, dark, and quiet, so that your body associates it with time to go to sleep. A wind down routine as well can help your mind and body know when sleep time is approaching. And I've mentioned quite a few things that you could try today to improve your sleep. I'd recommend starting off with maybe one or two that resonate with you the most and building these into a habit, because then you're more likely to stick to them. We do have our ESS Wellness email that's on the screen now, so you can email us if you've got any wellbeing queries or if you'd like any additional talks. We then also have our seasonal magazine. So the next one that will be coming out will be our spring magazine. So watch out for that, with lots of tips on health and wellbeing. And then lastly, we have our YouTube channel, which is where these webinars will be uploaded. So if you know of a colleague who wanted to be here today but couldn't, they can go and find it on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for joining, and do make use of that wellness email if you have any questions, and we would love to help you. So yeah, I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you next month. Thank you.